Hello there, food lovers, and welcome back to Stuffed, the podcast where we talk about cooking, our favourite ingredients, and ways to get creative and inventive in the kitchen.
It's hosted by me, George Egg, the snack hacker, and the voice you just heard and face you just saw,
Me,
Martin O'Dell, the Lagom chef.
Hello.
This is a show all about making food accessible, fun, and above all, delicious.
Yes, and each week we'll be chatting about some of ours and our listeners' favourite dishes.
We certainly will. And before we move on, can I just urge you all to subscribe and comment and share and tell your friends about the show
Where should they go, though?
at The Stuffed Podcast.
We've done that before, haven't we?
Is that right?
I think that's it. It's on
That
YouTube.
sounds
and
right.
everything, all of that.
Very impressive.
Oh,
You heard a voice there,
We heard a voice.
folks,
We always
because and on the YouTube, everyone's going, well, we see another person anyway. But we have a guest. It's a guest episode today.
It's a guest.
Every
Be my
sort of
guest.
third
Be
or
my
fourth,
guest.
we've got a guest. And
Yeah.
we've got a guest today, and the guest is...
Shall I say it?
Yeah,
Jesse.
Jenkins.
Let's do that again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jesse Jenkins in there.
Jesse Jenkins.
Yeah, no, that was sick. Thank
cheers,
you.
mate.
Hi, Jesse Jenkins. Thank you for
Also,
having me.
more commonly known as
Another Day in Paradise, or ADIP.
ADIP. At the ADIP. At
ADIP. It's not a name,
Yeah.
but people will be like, ADIP, all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, just ADIP stands for another, so ADIP.
Another Day in Paradise. And where did that come from? I know I've spoken about this to you a million times, but
Another Day in Paradise,
Yeah.
it's just a daily reminder that I have said to myself for a long time when I'm usually wake up very grumpy and I just remind myself that it's another day in paradise and I should just get the fuck up and go.
yes.
So when I was coming to name the Instagram, I just thought, that sounds nice. Makes sense.
When was that? When did you start putting stuff out there?
I think probably like for whatever the first lockdown was.
2020.
Yeah.
So many, yeah.
Yeah,
same
yeah.
here.
All of us, right?
Lockdown. I was
No, you
no,
were
post.
after-
Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
to do anything
Yeah.
during lockdown. I raised a child.
Well, you were raising a child. That's
Yeah.
quite
Didn't
big.
you raise a child?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing this and the baby.
More
Yeah.
like mate. I was just
Handled
working
it.
out. I remember just endlessly doing burpees on the floor and being like, "Yeah, this is great."
You just bench pressing? You're like, damn, dude.
Yeah, all the
Respect.
time. Yeah, and then it all piled back on.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, it's all right.
So
Blame the kids.
you started doing stuff in lockdown. What were you doing before that then?
Fashion photographer and director. Well, I directed music videos for a long time and then ended up mostly working in fashion. So
And how about the food thing? Was that?
yeah, so I worked every job in a restaurant growing up and everything from line cook to busboy, expo. And then when I moved to London when I was 20, I thought I'm definitely going to do cooking seriously. I worked for about a year as a chef at a restaurant in Chiswick and kind of couldn't make ends meet and got a side job working for a photographer because I knew a little bit about cameras from,
Yeah.
I also did a lot of skateboarding and was obsessed with taking pictures of skateboarding and things like that. So I got a job doing photography and then ended up kind of going that way and working as a private chef to supplement my income. And then fashion kind of won. But I always wanted to get back into food.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tried a bunch of times. Like I tried a catering business. I did private chefing from time to time. You know, I tried to do food photography for a bit. And then when lockdown happened and I saw these people making videos, I thought, oh, that's cool. But I was too scared to do it because I thought if I make vertical cooking videos for Instagram at the time, it was
Yeah.
sort of frowned upon in the fashion industry to do stuff for social media.
Yeah.
If you were a print person.
Right. That's
And I was
interesting.
like
didn't know that.
really trying to be, you know, in vogue quite literally and
Yeah.
figuratively. So figuratively. And so I just did pictures at the beginning and called it ADIP. And eventually I kind of just, you know, after about a year of going back and forth, I just kind of hit the fuck it button and thought, let's
What was the first video?
to work.
What that you did? Yeah, like on your channels. Like if you
The first one where I actually put where you could see me in it was for that Dijon mustard roast chicken.
right.
Yeah.
What
And
was
I-
that? Tell me what that was.
I actually was like, I can't remember if I was reading a book or watching like a YouTube video of a chef, and he like flippantly said, "Oh yeah, I worked for this French guy, and we took all our chickens and we bathed them in Dijon mustard, and we just leave them for like whatever it was, 3 days." And I thought that sounds cool. So it's really simple: fully marinate a chicken in Dijon mustard.
Wow, a lot of
That's
mustard.
it. Shitload of pepper, and then just roast it low and slow, and it just comes out like
Yeah.
it's really
Wow.
nice. You have to be careful with the heat because the mustard can burn.
Yeah.
But it really, like, if you leave it on it long enough, it really makes it's good. And it's really satisfying just taking a pot of Dijon mustard and smearing it all over a chicken.
And your videos have obviously been really successful and culminated in, and today's the day,
Yeah.
your cookbook.
My cookbook, Cooking with Vegetables.
We've got
she
right
is.
here.
Yeah.
Here it
Which
is.
comes out
Absolutely.
today.
Today.
A beautiful book. Amazing photography, which
I did
is
myself.
all you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
How was that? I mean, was that a
It was
bigger job than you envisaged, or was it?
It was way more work than I thought it would be.
Mm.
I kind of knew it would be a lot. Obviously, working as a photographer for a long time, but I kind of just thought, oh, you have 2 weeks to shoot, and it's 10 pictures a day or whatever, and it's really, really hard. I have a huge admiration for food photographers because it's like dark magic.
Yeah.
We can all be taking a picture of the same thing, and so and so just does this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What was the one? It was the pizza, and they put PVA glue in between the pizza slice, and then they screwed the pizza to the things when they lifted it up. It got this
And then you got the big.
yeah.
And that's rogue.
And the other one, what's the other one? I know another one. Salads. If you flip a bowl upside down and put that in a big bowl, then you only need a little bit of salad to make.
I do that with soups for garnish as well.
Yeah.
A little something underneath.
Oh, I see what you mean. So you've just
Like a bowl within a bowl, like an
hidden,
upside down bowl,
yeah.
and then it kind of gives it volume. Yeah, and same as soups, you just put a little bit on, and then the garnish sits on top and does
Tampon for the steam.
Oh yeah,
Best one.
Was that Nigella did that?
I don't know.
She did a whole
What's that? You put a tampon in boiling water and then put it behind
Put
something.
behind the bowl. Yeah,
It
works very well.
Vegetable glycerine is also very good for frosting on cans.
Oh, I've never done anything
No?
like that, but good to know.
Yeah, I did that once, and everything became uber greasy. You're like picking things up, and you're just like, yeah.
Did you do? I mean, is it all totally the
I
food?
did nothing.
You
I did
didn't do
nothing
any
like that.
Sneaky tricks.
No, but I worked for half the book. I worked with a food stylist, and which was great to have the help. But really, it was about the reason why I shot it on film and hand printed it, and other than the fact that I love doing
It's
that,
shot on film as
it
well.
was on
Wow.
film,
Wow.
and every image was hand printed in a darkroom, and I just wanted them to be as simple as possible. So any edge I could get to make them feel special, I just took it because it's my counter or my little table outside my window, daylight. So we only could shoot till whatever it was, 2:00 every day. And some of the exposures were like 10 seconds long because it was so dark.
And I would imagine as well, being, obviously a real creative person, you wanted total control.
Yeah, I did. I wanted control over the things that I thought I was good at.
Yeah.
But I was very excited to have, a publisher and an editor completely guide me in the things that I didn't know about, because I think also we all make food on Instagram, and you think there's an illusion that you think if I can get millions of people then I can make a book that people, and they're just two different things.
Yeah.
Completely different things. And the way someone responds to a book on a shelf is completely different to why they sit and watch a video. And I had no idea how to do that. So my editor, Lizzie Gray, who I love, held my hand through the entire thing. Because I ultimately, it was hard for me to not just focus on making something cool.
Yeah.
As a photographer, shoots on film and whatever, I just was like obsessed with wanting it to be cool. And eventually, and I say that word cool, I meant like really to me, I just wanted it to feel like it was my vibe, and I looked at it and it made me feel happy.
But I guess that makes sense because the style of the book is very much the style of your videos, and obviously people are attracted to your videos for that reason, because they like that. So you want a book that's going to appeal to those people who go, well, I want an artifact.
I wanted a
of
piece,
what I've
like a
been
piece of what we've been doing,
watching,
right? That was the idea. And thank you for saying that it looks like me.
It's shit, mate.
Yeah,
I don't like
it's
it.
fucking shit. But yeah, it was really it was challenging, but it just in the way that these things are. There's a lot of thinking. It's a lot thinking about what not to do more than what to do, really. And because it is so simple, it's plain backgrounds. It's a very simple title. It's stripped back, and it's just so every little decision was like poured over.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's the book is called Cooking with Vegetables, and it's quite unique because your style, when you described it the other day, was it like fast food,
fresh, fast, filthy?
Fresh, fast, filthy.
Yeah,
it rolls off the tongue. But, you do a lot of stuff with pork and chicken and everything like that.
I cook with everything.
Yeah.
So it was when I But when I started doing the Instagram, we made that
We
for me
ate
the
that.
other day,
That
didn't
was
we?
wallop.
Smash
Yeah.
cucumber Caesar.
Yeah.
I eat everything. And when I started doing the Instagram, I just kind of looked at everything that was around and really thought about what I love to make. And also, first and foremost, I make videos, right? Like I take pictures and make videos. So I had to think about what I wanted it to look like.
Yeah.
And there's this sort of, I never was that excited about like butchering meat on a video or preparing meat or whatever. And I saw the audience and the people that was like people that were attracted to that. And it didn't actually like, it didn't resonate with me, even though I eat it. The reaction it was getting, the people that were watching, the type of people that were getting traction for it. Everyone's cooking everything.
Yeah.
So I just was like, oh, that doesn't feel like me. And I was just, thinking about growing up in California, and my mom worked for a chef called Nancy Silverton growing up. And at that time, it was like Alice Waters, Tom Keller, Nancy Silverton. There was this like real movement of pushing the boundaries with simple things. And Alice, it was all about vegetables, right? Like, how do we bring these recipes from Europe here and get people focused on how to eat from the land? And Thomas Keller is Thomas Keller. And Nancy was all about bread. And they were like very focused cooks and chefs. So I just grew up eating like that, which was like not their food, which is
Every morning, Thomas.
Just off to the French Laundry today. No, my mom was a sort of bookkeeper / floor manager / housekeeper. And she just worked with Nancy and did whatever she asked. I kind of grew up in the Bray Bakery from a young age, and so my mom looked at all those people like they were rock stars. So I did too. And so I thought about all that. And for me, if I think about California, I just think about vegetables, and I'm thinking about having gluts of vegetables and cooking them based on a glut. So it's like if you're going to make an artichoke or an aubergine or whatever it is, you're going to completely focus on cooking that vegetable really well and build a meal around it. And I just saw the vegetarian cooking was all about health.
Yeah.
It was like, how many vegetables can you get into a dish? Rainbow bowl. Everything was just like, everything. My wife's like, just try not to
fucking swear.
my wife who I work with very closely, it's like, and she's right. I shouldn't cuss all the time. And so, I just, that thing of the rainbow bowl, I just thought, I'm so over it. Why can't it be just take a vegetable and cook it like you would a piece of fish or steak?
The aubergine.
Yeah, the aubergine. And the aubergine was like the kind of pinnacle of that. It was okay, how can I just like...
This is the flattened with the... He did that for me.
It's good. And then he did it for me.
You immediately saying, my
no.
friend Jesse showed me how to do this, and and it was just...
It's a yummy one, and it's kind of like, I've gotten so much from that recipe, which is amazing.
We should just tell the listeners what, because they might not know what the recipe is.
Let's get Jesse. It's his
Jesse.
recipe.
So let's pull it up. See if you can find it.
Right, here we go.
Fine.
Let's see how good this glossary is.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. We can talk about that later. But the order of the book, even things like that, it's really like.
Oh yeah, I
it's major.
Found it so.
Yeah.
I
was like, I want it to be based on me. Like, I'm dyslexic, and like sort of I have OCD and a dyslexia, and it's like I want it to suit my brain. And they're like, for sure, but like. Other people don't think like that necessarily.
Mine, the order of recipes in mine is semi-autobiographical, semi-instinct. It's just going,
right.
That just feels like
there she is, baby.
Smoky aubergine parm. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you see
Absolutely.
that? You got it, baby?
Wallop.
Talk us through it.
Well, okay, so you've got I'm just going to fall apart.
Break the back. That's all right.
So with the aubergine, you prepare it in the same way you would baba ganoush.
Yeah.
So you either cook it under a grill, ideally over an open flame, until it's like almost white, charred on the outside, completely deflating.
It's totally collapsing. Yeah.
Let it steam for a minute, peel that off, and then instead of chopping it up and mixing it through, I got really inspired by what's that dish called? It's tong kanam. Is that what it is? It's like you look it up quickly, so I'm not saying it wrong. Sorry. Tong kanam. It's basically an eggplant aubergine omelet.
Yeah.
Let's Google that. That might be easier. Aubergine.
So say the name right and where it's from.
I
think it's Indonesian, but
Tortang Talong.
Yeah.
Also known as eggplant omelet, is an omelet or fritter from Filipino cuisine.
So it's like tong kanam. Is that what it was?
Tortang Talong.
Tortang too long.
That's probably even worse than what you started off, but we got there.
I got an American accent, so do my best. But yeah, really inspired by that. I learned how to do that recipe, which is like pressed aubergine and egg. And then you sort of fry that into this omelet, and it's amazing. And as I was pressing it, I thought, what if you did an aubergine and eggplant parm like this? Like, breaded it, fried it, put it with a tomato sauce and melted cheese. And it, for me, sort of, again, like the concept of this book, a filthy vegetable. Like, it's just, how good can you make a vegetable be? It should stand on its own. You shouldn't be thinking about health or anything.
Yes, and it's not about the nutrients and the
that
protein.
looks really
it's
good.
Just,
I want to eat that. I don't care if it doesn't meet my requirements, whatever. And another thing is, like, I'm going to call it eggplant parm, aubergine parm.
I did, when I went in the back, I was like, is it going to be under E for eggplant?
No.
It's definitely A.
It's aubergine. Is one of my favorite things growing up, but it's really like you fry the eggplant and fry the aubergine and you.
I think you saying eggplant is cooler anyway.
Yeah,
sorry, mate. I threw you
Everyone
off
listening
there.
is going, say eggplant.
Yeah, it's just say eggplant
it's
again.
It's just more exotic, it's cooler.
So we bread
you
the
fry that
cauliflower.
fucking vegetable. That one. So you fry it and then you put it in a tomato sauce and then you bake it. And so it's like, you get the flavor of fried, but you don't really get the crunch. And with this, you get like a real, as you know, proper crunch. Sauce is on the bottom. It's a little sweet and sour.
Oh, it was so good.
It's
and
good.
I burnt the onions a little bit and I got told off.
And I sort of put it up. And then, I put it up thinking, I hope it does well. And kind of woke up the next day and it had like 3 or 4 million views or something like that. And I was like, whoa. But it's just people, I think, if you make a vegetable, in my experience, my account is if you make a vegetable in a way, using one that's around, first of all, nothing super intimidating. If I use a seasonal vegetable that's like slightly intimidating or you might be hard to find, it's just like crickets. And I get it.
Take your artichokes.
I still fight for the artichokes, but
I hate them.
people don't care. What do you hate them? We should have made an artichoke today.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
You and David Chang. Kick rocks, bro. That's
it. This is your show.
So it was amazing. It's done a lot. And I sort of followed that concept of like, all right, how good can I make a vegetable be focusing on one vegetable at a time? And then I just wrote the book based on that. And it's organized by types of vegetables and each recipe is focused on a vegetable rather than being like, the rainbow bowl. Right? If it's a green bean recipe, it really has a bunch of green beans in it.
We're doing our best here. We're trying to bleep him out. This one, I reckon you're going to have an interesting answer for this, and I'm not going to put it's sort of putting you on the spot, but you're not going to be like Gordon Ramsay. What meal would you make to impress your idol? And I suppose let's tag on who is your idol if you're cooking for someone.
And it doesn't have to be from the chefing world.
It could be anyone.
Musician.
I'm quite interested.
Whatever.
We can sort of give you some lead. A bit of escape. Tony
It's
Hawk.
difficult, isn't it? If someone asked me that, I'd just go to bit. I'm so rubbish at
shall I give you an
choice
answer?
of anything.
I never get asked this.
I think I have some ideas, but tell me first.
There you go. You're the guest.
Okay,
I'll do Robin Williams. I love him.
That's a great one.
Yeah, and
I'd love to cook for
lasagna.
Oh, he would love it.
Yeah, me and him just being all hairy and eating.
I mean, who wouldn't love lasagna though?
You should dress up like Mrs. Doubtfire and do an episode.
Do you reckon?
For sure.
Yeah. I tell you what, when I worked at Tastemade, they put me forward to do that because they were doing all like the videos for Mrs. Doubtfire. It was coming out in the West End, and they were like, "Would you do it?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Would I? Of course I would.
I'm doing it right now.
Get my tits on fire." Go on. Who's your guest? What are you cooking?
I still don't know. I'm like,
no, we can come back.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah,
let me think about it because I'm like, who in that situation? I don't know.
There's another question here. What's the oldest thing in your fridge right now?
Oldest thing in my fridge is definitely miso for sure. That's been in there, white miso, but that's kind of it's there all the time.
Yeah.
There's some really questionable roast chicken in a pot from about a week and a half ago, but I was thinking, can I work with that? Is it going to the dog?
The nose knows.
Yeah, the nose knows. Well, let's come back to that question.
Yeah,
you don't worry if you can't answer it. It doesn't matter. I answered.
It's hard. It's like because I wanted to be a filmmaker for so long. I'm like in my head, I'm like Paul Thomas Anderson or these like directors who I love, or Quentin Tarantino or something.
Oh, Tarantino would be good.
He'd
what would
good.
you cook him?
But also like you don't want to meet him because to me he's a legend, but he's going to be a dick.
Well, just feed him. Don't sit down with him. Just be like, there you go, bye.
Him? Oh yeah, it would be like
you could get someone else to take the food out to him.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was cooking for him, it definitely would be like meatloaf or something. You know what I mean? I would just be like, home cooking, meatloaf, some really nice mashed potatoes, and a big salad.
Oh.
Just be like, you're Quentin Tarantino. You want a piece of Americana. Paul Thomas Anderson, I might be a little bit more
bougie.
Yeah, or I'd kill him with the mushrooms like he did to Daniel Day-Lewis in that movie. You see that?
I'm terrible at movies.
Didn't he write that movie?
I don't know which movie.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we don't talk about movies. You're not here for movies.
We're not here for movies. George always brings up movie references. I'm like,
you've only seen
School of
Patch
Rock.
Adams, haven't you? Is it?
School of Rock. Patch Adams.
Patch Adams, great movie.
Oh, it makes me cry.
Oh, Martin, you get emotional.
Anyway, come on, I don't want to
so
cry
anyway,
today.
look, so every week,
it's not about me crying.
Every episode, we have a question of the week
Great.
that we start. We do in the first half, and then we answer it in the second.
Cool.
We have a little muse about it, but if we know the answer, we don't say.
I forgot everything you just said to me.
Don't worry, he's going to ask you a question.
Well, we're going to ask everyone a question. What was the first food item to have a barcode on it?
No idea.
I don't know, banana?
No.
On it?
Well, you never know. They didn't.
Can. Maybe a
Is it a
canned
can?
good. Yeah. Feels like it makes sense.
I think.
Why would they put a barcode on it though? I'm thinking, trying to reverse logic it.
Yeah, you would think that surely like once barcodes came in, there'd be
It'd be
loads
for
of things.
grocery.
Be
It's just-
digital. Be a shop. TV.
No food.
You have to check the question. There's a food. TV. It must be
surely.
food. Okay, well, we'll come back to that later on in the show and we'll answer that. What we got here? Quick fire. Oh,
Quick
whenever
fire.
we have
So
a guest, we always get a bit confused because we never know what's happening. We should read the notes before.
what
But we're
we-
doing quick
oh,
fire.
I
I
love- So-
love quick fire.
Yeah.
Well, quick
Otherwise,
fire.
anxiety. Game.
Well,
Yeah.
it's and I go to bits on this. So before we get into this week's star ingredient, we often like to do a quick fire round with our guests. And in
Don't
this
say
one, what's
quick
gonna
fire
happen?
like that. You're going to make me nervous.
Okay, we're going to just
absolutely.
have some fun for 30 seconds each.
I'm just kidding.
You'll be given 30 seconds to list as many items as you can within that time for a certain category. For example, it could be pizza toppings. And we always go back to
Ham
things
on
on
toast.
toast, and I said ham. Would you eat ham on toast?
No.
Oh no, Jesse! I thought you
Why
were
would you put ham on toast?
Why not?
That's
I
like,
mean, the subject was things you have on toast. And he
Martin.
said ham, and it's like, you
Martin.
can put anything on
I
toast.
didn't finish making my sandwich.
I forgot the
Now it's
butter. Right, what's you know the category?
That's nice.
So Jesse's going to tell George the category. You've got 30 seconds, George, to name
All right,
as
I'm
many
gonna shut my eyes.
Beans. Types of beans.
types of beans. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Borlotti, broad, haricot, black-eyed, fava, baked. You see, it just goes.
You're doing
doesn't it?
amazing. I
I'm
wouldn't have
giving you a
gotten
clue.
three
Stop
of
talking.
them.
No, I'm giving you a clue.
Cannellini,
Runner.
runner, of course. Green, dwarf,
Sorry. I don't.
dwarf beans.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. Well done.
Is that it?
10. I counted 10.
10. We did it once, and
Don't give
we
me.
said-
Don't give me one like
we
that.
did it once. We said to Sadie, how many was that? And she went, about 12. It's like, it's got to be right.
I had one the other week,
I thought you were counting.
and it was I got 2. What was it? It was like name places that had like sexual
This is
or
my.
genitalia in
No,
it.
it's rude sounding foods, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
It's my worst kind of game. I
Yeah.
remember this from school, and my mind always goes blank.
Right, don't worry.
Yeah.
Well,
You've only got to beat 10, otherwise you have to do the rest
What
of the
am I
show
gonna do?
naked. That's the issue.
I'll just write it and say,
Let's see if it's a good one. Oh.
Don't give me one of those.
that's always the
Don't
worst
you
is when you
fucking
go,
dare.
when you go, oh, this is going to be really easy. That's the worst, isn't it?
See what happens.
Right, here we go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Name as many pizza restaurants in London.
Oh.
Go. Go.
Crisp, Alley Cats. Oh my god. What's the one? The one that everyone loves? Pizza Hut, Domino's. What's the English one that everyone goes bananas for?
John.
I eat a lot of pizza too. Don't know. I'm done. Oh, Sacre-Cœur. That's my local one. Pizza Pilgrims. Did I say that one? I keep wanting to say Five Guys.
I was doing that like an express train.
Pizza
like an
Express,
old-fashioned
Frank
train.
Manca.
Oh.
Yeah.
But there's
Pizza
nothing
Hut,
worse when you finish
Pizza
everyone
Express.
saying, you could have had this, could have had that.
That one I
you
don't
went
mind
under
because it just
pressure.
looks like I'm like not super into pizza. It's not like
Yeah, no, that's right. No, because
Fine.
I was like
Yeah.
going in my head when you told me, I was like, oh, Pizza Express, Domino's, Pizza Hut.
I just thought Pizza Express and
Well, I was
Pizza
like
Hut. was all
margarita, but then I was like, oh, you could go to somewhere else. It could be like the
No, I
Godfather
was
and-
comfortable with that one. I actually knew shitloads, but that's the blank.
things
Come on.
you might find in a school pack lunchbox.
Oh, Baby Bell. String, what's it called? Oh, fuck, the long cheese. Yeah. A sandwich.
Cheese string.
The cheese string, there we go. An apple, some grapes, some blueberries, some banana, some raspberries, packet of crisps, maybe a chocolate bar.
I hate ones like this because
Just an ice cream.
Ice cream.
Maybe some nuts. Yeah, I give my son some almonds, some pistachios, some I can't say that.
Pistachios?
Fruit and nut bar, chocolate bar, Capri's chocolate bar. Maybe a drink, maybe a Capri Sun.
fuck.
Right,
They don't let you send nuts to your
chocolate
kids.
bar.
Do they?
Cadbury's chocolate bar. Are you allowed to? For
Ice
that?
cream is so wrong.
Ice cream, just pouring that out. Well, there we go. That was fun.
13.
13 in a way.
Call it 12. Ice cream was not.
No. I think those ones are tricky because you end up just like going into a category. You go like crisps, okay, Twiglets, Walkers,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You can't send nuts to your kid's school, can you?
No.
Good. All right. I was about
Can
to
you
be
not
like,
now?
well,
Can
yeah,
you not?
no way.
George almost killed the cameraman the other week.
Now everyone keeps saying this, but I said it's got peanut butter in it. It was. Yeah, I wasn't tricking you, was I? I wasn't going. I know what I do.
Thank God.
Right, let's move on to star ingredient / dish because
Wow, didn't know this was the star ingredient.
I didn't have a clue. Jesse messaged me earlier and I went, "What is that?" And he sent me a picture and I said,
I don't even know
"What
what
is that?"
it is.
Me neither.
Star ingredient is. Do you want to say?
Hearts of palm?
Hearts of palm.
Is that what it is?
What is it?
Oh yeah. Okay. Sweet. Yes. But I
What's
didn't
the-
know.
what's
I didn't
the
know we were
hearts of
picking
palm?
that
I
as
don't
the.
even know.
Oh, right,
But
yeah.
yeah. But sweet. We'll
Yes,
take it.
that's the
Yeah.
star
That's what I
ingredient.
made.
Tell us what it is.
It is literally the heart of a palm tree. Good. Can you look that up? Make sure I'm saying that right. Literally, it's like the root,
Yeah.
which is picked when they're quite young, I believe, and it's like comes as a canned vegetable.
Anyway, here's some facts. Are
It's
hearts
not-
of
it's not
palms
that.
difficult to find in the UK?
Not. I mean, they're not everywhere, but I find them. I found them today quite quickly at a local shop near me. So
Right, there we go.
they're just in the canned vegetable section.
Yeah.
So they're not pickled. They're sort of in brine.
Yeah. Right. How often do all of you cook using heart of palm? Never.
I've never cooked with it.
I've never even eaten it.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
What does it taste like? Is it like bamboo shoots?
Kind of. It's really tender. Has a really mellow taste. They're just super nice. You love them. I guess it's sort of like an artichoke heart. Yeah, it has the similar vibe. But they're great. I love them.
Oh,
I
here we
grew
go.
up eating them just
Crunchy
out of the
soft?
can.
Crunchy stuff? I don't know. Why are you
Right
looking
in
at
the
me?
middle, just really tender.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. It says the heart of palm, which you wanted to be corrected on, is a vegetable harvested from the inner core and the growing bud of certain palm trees, such as a peach palm trees and coconut trees.
There you go. Sort of right.
All right. Do you reckon they
Yeah.
have
It
different
sounded a bit
flavour?
more-
Like a peach palm tree will taste peachy? Is that a
Nah.
peach tree? I don't know.
I'm
so
sure the
bad with
peach just
trees.
has to do with the color of it. or
What
something.
sort of cuisine?
It doesn't grow peaches. It's not palm tree that grows peaches.
What sort of cuisine, like cultural cuisine?
South
is it
American,
normally?
I think,
Right.
probably. I have to look that up, right? Yeah.
Right.
I grew up eating it in California, I guess, because Mexican, Hispanic, Guatemalan food. It
And,
was
and you-
around.
have you made something with it?
I have.
today?
I've made my heart of palm ceviche, which is basically like a Mexican ceviche, which is normally done with shrimp.
Yeah.
And I'll often add shrimp to it as well. But for today, I just did it with hearts of palm. And it's really good. It's like a bar snack. You usually have it with a michelada, which is a sort of like a beer and a Bloody Mary
Right.
mixed
yeah,
together
yeah, I know.
with a really spicy rim. So good.
That's what I had in Copenhagen. And I kept going. And I was like, this is so good. Why have I never had it before?
So you'll often get it in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like that, your michelada, and then they'll put a tostada on top with the spicy shrimp, and they just like hand you the whole thing, and you sit there and eat it with your. It's one of my favorite things.
God, that sounds so good.
And one day someone was allergic to shellfish, and I just thought, I still really want them to have that thing, so I made it like that, and then ever since I've just kind of been doing it that way because it's.
Should we have it?
Yeah,
Should
break
we
it
eat
out.
it?
Should we
It's
get it?
ready to go.
Where do
Yeah.
we
I
do?
want to look
we
at
do?
the. Can I look at the recipe while?
I was just about to say,
Jesse's
the
getting it.
recipe in this book is so clear. Like
They
That's so beautifully shot as well.
They gotta work for me.
Yeah,
So
well-
I find I love recipe books. I'm slightly obsessed with them, but I wanted something that was like, you just knew right away when
Oh,
you looked
man.
at the page. You're like, I can do this. There's nothing intimidating about it.
I love him, but Ottolenghi's cookbooks, you look at them, and I tried cooking a dish from it. I remember doing a video, and I was like going, what on earth is going on here? It was so much text, and I was like going, what's step
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where I
Yeah.
am. And it's,
Yeah. I think they've lessened. I think in the beginning there was a lot more. The ingredients could be intimidating for sure.
Yeah.
I love Alalengi book.
Yeah. I said hello to him. I shook his hand.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
He seems really, I didn't meet him, but he looks nice.
I just went, hello. He went, hi. That was it.
I think more than that with the Ottolenghi ones, what you were pointing out on a recent episode was, I think, or maybe it was just when we were texting each other, but is the recipe books where it refers to something else
milk
in the recipe book. And then you've turned to that page, and then in that recipe it says, oh, but you also need this. And there's a recipe on another page. I just think this is just
the endless book of, here we go.
This is, so I'm going to describe what's going on because a lot of people will just be listening. We've got a pile of epic looking tostadas. Yeah?
Yep. You're supposed to bake them, but I always fry them because I prefer them fried. But if it was in Mexico, they would be baked, just like really dry. I actually brought some baked ones.
And a tostadas is literally just a corn tortilla that's been
baked or fried.
Yeah. So it goes crunchy.
It's like a giant tortilla chip, and you pour the sauce on top, and it kind of absorbs into the first layer. You can also have it with mayo. Did you get my text saying, do you have any mayo?
I did when I was on the toilet.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. I've got
toilet, mayo. We're doing great.
Like alioli.
Aioli?
Yeah.
YOLO.
So I go and get that.
YOLO. I also got some avocados. So you can have it with avocado and mayonnaise as well, or you can just have it straight like that. But take a scoop.
I just want to have a bit of the heart of...
Dude, just eat.
I just want a little bit of that. Just
they're so good, dude.
So this is the salsa with the heart of palm and everything all in it all together.
Your face when you...
I'm mildly hungover today, and I would sit there in my underpants and just gobble that.
That's the vibe. You just have that going, and you just scoop into it.
Dude,
the texture is fascinating.
It's really nice, huh?
A little bit of a.
If you didn't know, you could say it was squid or shrimp or something.
Yeah, it's got that right bite to it, and because there is Worcestershire sauce in the recipe, Worcestershire. But that's just how you say it. Why do people go bananas every time they say the word?
It's you Americans, mate. It's not us.
I always call it Worcestershire sauce anyway. I know it's not Worcestershire.
It's called Worcestershire.
Yeah, no, don't be like that.
No,
Worcestershire.
Don't be that guy. Worcestershire.
So it's got a little bit of that tangy fish sauce vibe to it from that. So it's great.
We got a knife.
Yeah, give me a knife. Donde está cuchillo?
Have we got a knife? I didn't bring a knife.
I didn't bring knives. We're in London. I don't put a knife in my bag.
Maybe we could do it with a ladle.
Oh, man.
What
Here we go. Lagom. You can do that. No. We're good.
Just wallop them.
Yeah.
This looks absolutely beautiful.
So let's do a little. Here, I'm just going
to say what's in it. So we've got tomatoes, cucumber, red onion, red chilies, or fresh jalapenos. Which one do you go for?
Fresh jalapenos.
Bunch of coriander stalks, heart of palm, hot sauce, limes, salt, MSG, sugar.
Yeah. And then, so normally what you would make it with as well, and I think because it's so hard to get here, I didn't put it in the book, is clamato juice. So, have you heard of clamato?
No,
it's like it's a tomato juice basically, but it's seasoned with celery salt, I think a version of Worcestershire sauce, and it has like citric acid.
So it's almost like
and celery salt.
Bloody Mary.
So it has that vibe.
Liquid.
But it's a lot, and it's got clam juice in it. So you would normally put that in this as well.
Right.
So that's where the salt, sugar, MSG, and then grated tomatoes come in. It's just replacing that.
I'm just rushing ahead.
Just kidding. Put a little.
Me. Fantastic.
I was just copying the picture.
I'm going to stop. As you should.
I didn't get the mayo. Should I have got the mayo?
No, you're fine. Have a bite. You'll try it like that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go in. Here we go.
Look at that. That looks good.
Thanks, mate.
I got a degree in food styling.
How did you cut, dude? Can cut some more? Sure, do it. Absolutely.
I'm making this as soon as I go home.
I'm
ordering this book and I'm making it.
Thank you. It's such an easy one to do. And it's I really wanted something that represents that sort of roadside eating I grew up with. And this is like usually with shrimp, and it's cheap. The line's always really long, and there's always just a bunch of people standing on a street corner eating this with bottles of hot sauce and beer, and it's just awesome.
This is so good.
This is spectacular.
Great radio for the listeners. Just
the thing that I always get with Jesse's cooking, which is when you said it earlier, where everything's just so clean. I'm going to sound like such a wanky food critic here.
No,
it's
fine.
So clean, and everything feels like it has a place and it's meant to be there. My cooking is so confusing because I'm just like, let's chuck a bit of this into that. Now
but it's delicious. Yeah. That's all that matters.
I know, but this is just nice, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's really simple. You chop all the vegetables and you add them to a big bowl salt, sugar, MSG. Let that sit for a couple minutes and just draw out some of the moisture. Add grated tomatoes. Take tomatoes and grate them on a box grater. And just add the pulp. Eat the tomato skin with a bit of salt. Do not waste it if Martin's around. Nor put it in your vegetable bin. But I
put it in your pocket.
Yeah. And then what else do we do? Lime juice. And that's it. You add a bunch of hot sauce, some chamoy if you have it, which is really good. Have you ever had that? Chamoy?
I have now.
Tastes a little bit. It's really like, it will be an unfamiliar taste. It's a fruit hot sauce. And they often add it to drinks. It's like what's on the rim of those drinks that you see covered in tahini. And it's a fruit-based hot sauce. And then you add shitloads of a really good Mexican hot sauce.
I'm so confused. Can I have some more?
Yeah, absolutely. So addictive and delicious.
It's a bit spicy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, for you, it might be.
Sour
for everyone else in the world, it's like the most mild sauce ever.
You got yogurt.
And then,
what does it taste of?
Yeah, lots of hot sauce, Worcestershire sauce, and then you just let it sit and sort of mix up and put that on fried tortillas. You can add avocado and mayonnaise to it. It's very good with a beer.
You know what that tastes of? I've got it flavour in my head. Peach iced tea.
Yeah, it does have that. It's got peaches in it.
Yeah?
Is there peaches in it, did you say?
Oh, right. Is that it? I got it.
I think probably more mango. It just says...
I can't get peach iced tea out of my head.
Oh, my God.
At least I haven't made a mess.
This is beautiful, and I'm inspired to go and buy a tin of hearts of palm immediately and make this.
And also, I think if you have like frozen prawns and just let them defrost, they go in raw and they just cook like a ceviche. They just cook in the acid. So,
well, a few weeks ago Martin did was it sea bass you were doing ceviche? Yeah.
Ooh, fancy.
And that was
straight from Tesco's.
What was that?
It smelled a bit funny, but it was all right.
What is it called? Tiger milk?
Tiger milk?
Yeah, that's what they call it, like original OG ceviche, like South American. The juice that's left in the bottom is called tiger milk.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a nut called tiger nut,
Also, I could be wrong because...
Mate, you love saying them. Do you want us to clarify that?
Yeah.
Is fish juice tiger milk?
I never have confidence in a memory.
Sounds like you're just saying random
No,
words.
ceviche, it's the juice is called tiger milk, I think.
Like the leftover. Like that.
Yeah, if you just drink, and that juice just poured into, there you go, thank you very much.
Mate,
fucking
stop
genius.
questioning yourself.
I always will, it's just the way it goes. I've been wrong before,
You don't want to be soundbite.
It's the internet as well.
You don't want to,
oh my God, I
confidently say something that you're not 100% sure.
Tiger milk.
I left a bone in a schnitzel
the
other day because I thought, it looks nice with the bone. It's a schnitzel recipe. I'm just going to leave the bone in.
Woo! Oh, daddy. They come for you.
The internet went bananas.
A schnitzel shouldn't have a bone in it.
And it's so great because Instagram's, I never really have to respond to that stuff because there's so many people willing to fight each other about it. You're like, that's cool. It's crazy. Don't, you got to be careful. You got to be careful out there.
Yeah. I'm going to get my cards.
Right. But that's that. That's the star ingredient. Do you want to say anything else about hard palm?
Absolutely love it. Buy some if you see it, pull it out and just take a bite of it. They're absolutely delicious. And also like really good for you and have super low calories. So they're just like a great thing to just
good filler.
Shove,
what other ways could you
sandwich.
use it?
Yeah, would you cook with it or would you only
salads, really nice with avocado, tomato, and heart of palm salad with just a simple lime dressing. It's really super nice.
Yeah.
But it's just like any other.
But generally used cold out of the tin.
Yeah, I wouldn't cook it because it will just mush out. But it's great straight out of the tin. So
great.
You'll find many ways if you buy it and take a bite. If you like a sort of artichoke heart, you'll love it.
Yeah, see you later. I hate it.
You don't hate artichoke hearts. No one hates artichoke hearts.
Well, hello.
The taste of them?
Yeah, I just don't
we
like
have this
them.
quite a lot where he says he doesn't like something, and I'm just like, well, you can't say that. And he goes,
no, I know.
I'm not like something.
I've seen Martin cook. It's about the faff. This is tied up in having to deal with an artichoke, I imagine.
I have a slight complex over it from when I worked in a restaurant. You see the globe artichokes.
Yeah, you got to turn them and do the whole thing.
Well, not even that. We used to like boil them whole, and then we used to just give them to the customers. They used to just pull them out and house dressing in the middle.
Is it for you? Is it also a slight class thing of like they're too posh? I'm not interested because they're posh, or is it just purely?
They're not posh.
Caviar.
They're not posh at all.
No, I just don't like the flavour. Just find them a bit naff. I'm just like all that effort for that. Give me a banana.
I find them a bit
a banana.
Mate, you just peel it, eat it. Great.
Like the jar ones are a little bit sort of tinny, a little bit kind of like canned vegetable kind of vibe to them.
Yeah.
Even when they're not.
Yeah, it's not for me. Sorry for having an opinion.
There's a couple recipes in my book you're not.
Yeah, I fucking rip those out. Use them as a bookmark. Maybe I'll cook one. I'll tell you what, I'm doing a new cookbook series.
I'm very excited about it.
I'm taking this. Can I take this one? Although I've already bought a couple.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I'll do an artichoke dish for it, just for you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Anyway, should we stop mumbling? We're going to go on to Britain's faves.
Yes, so every episode we have an ingredient, not an ingredient, like a dish, and we talk about how we would do it, if we like it, things we might do to improve it. And this week's is deviled eggs.
Oh, I love deviled eggs.
Good.
I've never made deviled eggs.
Really?
Never made them.
No, I've had them, but I've never made them.
Talking to faffs, it is a faff, but it's worth it. I love deviled eggs.
So let's talk through what you do, how you do them.
Well, the only way I've ever done them is soft boil or hard boil an egg, scoop the yolk out, mix it through with some mayo, cayenne, probably some spicy stuff. Tabasco.
Yeah.
And then you just,
or Frank's Red Hot. I do Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you just pipe it back on, some chives, and then away you go.
Yeah.
I was going to
Mustard.
say, mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any peaky
and
things.
usually piped in with a nice little
nozzle,
so you get that, looks like a midget gem kind of thing.
Yeah. Exactly that.
I normally, if I'm making them for someone who's ordered them, I'll try really hard. But halfway through making them for myself, I will just make a really punchy egg salad and just eat it because you get so sick of doing it.
Yeah.
But I did learn that you can just use dental floss, like to cut them in half without wasting any of the yolk.
Oh, what do you mean?
Because when you cut through a yolk, a hard-boiled egg, you take away quite a bit of yolk with
the knife.
Yeah, especially if you want to make it a little bit soft, not totally rock hard. But yeah, dental floss.
Wow.
I saw someone online doing it where they were sort of rolling the egg with the knife, so only just touching the outside of the yolk. So then it popped open, and then they took out the little
mad
ball.
Skills.
Yeah.
You might know this. Rita's, Rita's in Soho, they do a deviled egg. I was watching a clip the other day, and they were saying it's one of their OG recipes that
it's the best. I make a curried one, which is really good. Basically just a shitload of curry powder inside that mix, which is super nice. Also spicy ones like sriracha mayo in there is really good.
I was going to say something like a furikake.
Yeah, you could easily go seaweed, spicy mayo, sesame seeds.
I can imagine little snipped anchovies on top of the...
Oh, yeah. Right.
That would be rather nice.
That's a bit classier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many do you reckon you could do in one sitting is the question.
Probably 8.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, if I was trying to prove a point, I could do a dozen.
Yeah. So, it's bad.
Release the eggs.
It's bad though when you think of it, when you go sitting, I'm going to have an omelette, 2 free eggs, and then you have deviled eggs, and then you're like, solid 8. That's
with
4
mayonnaise.
Eggs with mayonnaise and.
It's hardcore. It's hardcore.
We've kind of done this, but is there anything else you'd sprinkle on them to improve them, e.g. chives, sesame seeds? I said furikake.
Furikake would be good.
I've said
really
anchovy,
good.
but
anchovy would be really good.
Bit of chili, maybe. Maybe it's already.
Why are they called deviled eggs? Is it just because of the hot sauce?
I think because of the spice. Yeah.
It won't be that. It'll be something else. It's never what you think.
It's never. Okay, let's go unobvious.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, it's what they feed you in hell.
Deviled eggs are called that because the word devil historically referred to highly seasoned spicy food.
You're right.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, I suppose like deviled kidneys.
Devil kidneys.
Sort of thing,
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Spot on.
I never had devil kidneys.
Never had them?
Spicy kidneys. I really like kidneys, but I never would think to make them spicy necessarily.
I had devil kidneys at a restaurant called Canteen that's since gone.
Oh, I love Canteen. It's great.
Yeah.
Great
the
restaurant.
one behind the Royal Festival Hall.
Yeah.
And it was, on toast. And I went home and I tried to recreate them, but I think the kidneys I bought were just not quite fresh enough. And they were just
mid.
a bit pissy.
Bit pissy.
What do they do in restaurants? That they soak them in milk or something like that?
Yeah, soaking in milk makes them go soft, doesn't it?
And I tried to do that thing of cutting the core out, but I ended up taking too much and it was a mess.
Just leave it to the
disaster.
professionals. Just go and order it.
Then.
Just eat it raw.
Okay, enough of deviled eggs. Let's hear from George Egg.
So nicely
Thanks,
done.
Mate. Thanks, yeah.
Nicely done, eh?
Yeah.
Every week we have listeners send in their questions and their stories and their problems and more essentially their wines. We have a thing called the wine list where people send in things that annoy them in the food world. Could be,
I love it.
Packaging problems.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Oh, wait,
exactly.
Whoa.
So we will ask you. But first of all, this is a question or a story. We'll find out what it is. Chrissy says, "I don't know why there aren't more pizza by the slice restaurants or vendors in London."
Agreed.
New York thing, isn't it? Really think they're missing a trick. Can you guys think of any on-the-go cuisines you've seen when you've been abroad that should be brought over to the UK? On the go foods that they don't get here, that they should have here.
I mean, you can get everything here. It's
yeah.
just you just can't get it in the same way.
I tell you,
right?
you can't get much of is, and I'm a big fan of the Dutch snacks, which you just can't get. You know,
Oh yes,
your croquettes and your
Cyber Pussy
Yeah.
3000s.
cyber. No, that was France.
rude, inappropriate.
He's referring to a previous episode where I was talking about a vending machine on holiday.
Yeah.
That was full of rude things, including, and I realised it wasn't
France?
just this. In France,
Wow.
right on the Pyrenees, and
Pyrenees.
euphemistic as well.
Pyrenees.
And they had in this vending machine I thought at the time when we recorded the episode it was a Cyber Pussy 2000.
Wow.
I remember now it was a travel Cyber Pussy 2000.
Wow.
Yeah,
Compact and convenient.
so it was like
Respect, dude. Give
Yeah.
it to the French, man.
however,
very
that's
Japanese.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your kind of Dutch, Indonesian inspired croquettes like your Bama Schaefer with the
Yeah, I
noodles
like when you're in
crispy and-
Amsterdam and they just have all those fry places.
Oh,
yeah,
chips,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
I think that's great with like the peanut butter sauce, which is bang, which is basically like a satay sauce.
Mm.
They call it peanut butter sauce, but it's
Yeah,
satay,
yeah.
which is really good. And also that place there is Fibo, you know, the one that is, it's like a vending
This is
machine.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the little cabinets, put your coin in or
Yeah,
put your card,
that's
open
banging.
it up, mystery
Yeah,
croquette.
had a couple beers,
Mystery
walking
meat.
around,
Yeah,
very good.
and you just can't get that here. There's so many other.
Well, I think
world
the thing that
foods, but
happens
not.
with England or London in particular is things become a gimmick so quickly. But there, it's like part of their, I'll say, culture.
Also, there's
or
just
part
the
of
hard
way
thing
it
here
is.
is that you can't have street food, right?
No.
Like they have street food markets, which then charge rent similar to having bricks and mortar. So those places become kind of expensive. And the best thing about being in other places is just being able to eat on the street,
yeah,
and the prices come down significantly because no one's paying high rent.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
don't-
and that's to me in that regard is what's missing is just the ability to go and get
Yeah.
really good food made by a person that isn't necessarily some chef
Yeah.
that raised an investment that had a concept that has a history of working blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
They just
mummy and
make
daddy,
something really
yeah.
good and they built it and that's like just not allowed here.
yeah. Do you reckon it's the aggressive seagulls in England as well?
Nothing to do with the seagulls, man.
No, I reckon I think it puts people off. Noah got
I mean,
attacked
in
by a
Brighton, it's
seagull in
nuts.
St.
Really?
Ives. Yeah,
I grew
mate.
up in LA, so seagulls are everywhere, man.
Do they eat your food though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's nice.
I saw a
reminder,
kid
you're a
get
nature.
flown away.
A child.
Yeah, a
There's a
child.
sandwich shop up in Scotland, I think. They've started doing
Seagull sandwiches.
seagull insurance. So you pay an extra £1 on your sandwich, and then if the seagull takes it, you get another sandwich.
That's ridiculous.
That's
I
really
think
clever,
they
isn't it?
did it as a charity thing, and I think they
Got
made
it.
loads of money for a charity. Yeah, but that's quite a good idea, though. I think.
Yeah, it's like seagull mafia wandering around going, well, I'll tell you, Tony, we get £1 for every time.
Ooh,
I
Americans.
don't want to make a mess.
Yeah, I don't want to make a mess.
What a nice joint
right.
here you go.
Any
You
other
don't
things
wanna
on the go?
Imagine what a pity it'd be if it all got smashed up. Huh?
He's on now.
Sorry, I'm
Here he
going
goes.
there.
I like banh mi is like my favorite
Banh
sandwich.
mi,
I wish
yeah.
there was more banh mi in London. There's definitely some good ones, but again, they're sort of in
Few
bricks and
between,
mortar.
yeah.
Can be expensive. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of just when I think of a banh mi, I want it just wrapped up and put really quick.
Grab and go.
Yeah,
Where I always see on the internet those like waterfalls of tripe. Have you seen them?
No, what's
oh
that?
yeah, that Italian delicatessen thing where
Yeah.
they chop up all those
Little bit of
all the
lemon.
really scary stuff and
Yeah.
puts it. You know,
You not
what?
seen
You
it?
see
No,
that, and
what
the
do you- what do you
way
mean?
it's made is like. It looks really like, oh man, this is great, but you're eating a bunch of offal.
Yeah.
Like, it's you know
It's
if
just
you're
been dangling.
if you're into cartilage,
Yeah.
that chewy thing with a bit of lemon.
Oh,
that's
cheers,
it.
mate. Yeah.
That's all you're getting. No hot sauce,
So all
nothing.
it is like a guy, he has like a chopping board, and then in front of him is just like a glass window, like a fishmonger's, but he's just like quite condensed like this. Just hang like tripe and all goodness knows
It
what
literally
else.
is like tripe
and
blankets
they're
and,
like, what do you want?
hooves and
And they just grab it, he just bit of lemon juice, chucks it in a plastic bag, and then gives it to you. But it's like a waterfall, just like
Yeah.
constantly washing it.
So it's raw tripe that they're eating.
Yeah,
no, it's all prepared.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
but
Wow.
yeah, it's not in the sauce. It's
But
just
it's
It's
not
a
tasty.
lovely
like-
idea, but I couldn't imagine that working in the UK at all.
No.
So
No.
it's so fussy.
depends where you put it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Chrissy.
Kibbeling, that's another one from Holland that I really like.
What's
Just
that?
like little, like deep fried, tiny little bits of fish, and then you have them on a tray with a little plastic fork.
Oh yeah, they're yummy.
It's just lovely. It's just like it's
Oh yeah,
buttered
the
fish, but
Swedish
it's
the
just really
Swedish
nice.
one, like the herring on was it herring on
Like
toast?
roll mops.
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
Dude. Pickled herring on toast is really nice.
I think the problem is in this country is a lot of people would just go, Don't fancy it. Don't
Or
fancy fish.
just-
Don't fancy it, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't go viral on the internet, therefore I'm not going to eat it. I'm just going to eat strawberries and chocolate sauce from Borough Market. So, Jesse, we're going to go on to the wines now. So get your head in. We have actually got a voice note from a man called Harry. And he says his wine is...
Hey guys, love the podcast. I have a wine for you which I think may have the potential to be added to the wine list, but I would love your opinion on it. And that is bars, especially in London, where you ask for a pint, go to pay, and on the card machine it says add tip. Now, I'm a big believer in tipping good food. A good burger, good pizza absolutely deserves a tip. But do you really deserve a tip for a pint? I'm not sure. And when you got to click the little no button and then pay, and then there's people behind you look at it, and it feels wrong. But I would love your opinion.
100% disagree.
Disagree.
Well, you're from America where tipping is just... Because I went to New York and...
There's no reason why it shouldn't be here. It's not like you're paying your bartenders a lot of money. You're paying them the same minimum wage.
Sure, but what I mean is because some places you feel like it's obliged, some places they say, oh, it's included, because there's no consistency.
I just think universally it should just be. I think if you've worked in a restaurant or a pub, you feel like you totally get it. You're like, yep, I'll give you a tip. Definitely.
Yeah.
A busy pub, everyone's wasted, dealing with a bunch of drunk lads day in, day out. It's like, thank you, here's a pound extra for making me that drink. And, it's not that hard to do. Yeah. They don't get paid a lot and they look after you. But English people are so funny about tipping. They're just funny about it. You've been taught to be like, don't do that. It's a bad thing to like help out a person who's making shit pay.
Yeah.
Doing a job that makes your life kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
Like it's really like everyone loves the pub. And it's a great place to be. And the bartenders are the patrons. Those are the people that make the environment. And I think it's just an easy thing to be like. And don't get me wrong, if you're ordering, and by the way, order like do it when you do a round or whatever. I guess it's kind of like, if you're getting 10 pints over the night, maybe you just give them a tip on the first one or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to sit there and kind of do it every time.
Yeah.
But
I had a friend that used to do that. He used to in the States. He just said he used to go there and he just order a couple of drinks and he would leave them like $100 tip.
Just get it done.
And then they would always come back.
Yeah.
They're like a big queue and be like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, you just,
I'm not tipping you this time, mate.
Instant
Bloody hell,
VIP.
what do you think I am? But I used to work in a restaurant and the chef, there was only 2 chefs that ran the shift and it was really like, got a bit contentious because the head chef would get a split of the tips and then I never did. When I did the head chef shift, I then got tips and I was like, oh, no wonder they're happy working here.
No, that's so off key. Chef doesn't take tips. No way.
I think that's a thing that's problematic is that it would originally have been that you're tipping your way. You'd have the same waiter and like if they were really good, you'd be generous with the tip. But then these days you'll get all different waiters coming and then you go, well, that guy was good, but that wasn't. And then you think you're putting it down as like, well, are they getting it? He should be the one getting it because he was better than,
My dad's so old school and he'll still have loads of cash and just do the old awkward handshake at the end. No, that's for you. You look after your family. It's for you.
Yeah.
You know the Tommy Cooper one, do you? About in the taxi?
Yeah.
He was notoriously tight apparently. Anyway, and he got out of a taxi like that and he'd pop in the taxi driver's top pocket and go, have a drink on me like that. And then he'd leave and then go down into tea bag.
I'm definitely not tipping a black cab as much as I love a black cab. They're way too expensive.
They are expensive.
When you're like in traffic and you're like, did you just go 8 pounds and we didn't move?
Yeah.
There's your tip.
Yeah, there's your tip. Yeah. Good chat, aren't they? All right, mate. How's your mum?
They are. I love black cabs. No hate, but you're making money.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going on the list.
Sorry, Harry, next door.
Sorry, Harry. It's tricky. I mean, it is tricky. It's the consistency thing. We just need to all behave the same, behave in the right way. Yeah. Georgia says, it's a very simple one, crumbs in the butter pot. I bet you don't like that.
I don't, but I'm definitely guilty of it, for sure. That's why it has a lid.
Yeah. Stick it to the bag. It wasn't me. I made, we always talk about this, don't we? I would go, what did you have for dinner? We're both just standing, I had some toast.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people that I'd do it and then I don't have OCD. I'm you know me, I'm scatty as anything, but with butter, I kind of like to make the butter smooth. So I always end up skimming a bit off and then I spend a bit of a time there, like scraping round. Oh, I've done a dunk, so I have to take a bit more butter to make it flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what, you mean on your toast, do you want it even? Or are you
I take a bit out and put it on there and I look in the butter pot and I go, oh, I should have just taken that little bit there. And then I start skimming the edge of the butter.
I start sort of carving into it to get it just nice.
I avoid putting a
Double dipping.
No, just putting a knife that has a bunch of crumbs on it inside.
Yeah.
I would do the scrape always,
Yeah,
in
lick
between.
it.
I'm doing a scrape.
Well, I think when people do the scrape on the butter pot, on the edge of it like that, and you're like, what are you doing?
I've got a
then
revolving
that gets
story,
cleaned.
which I won't.
Yeah.
I won't say.
Jesse, have you got any wines?
I have loads of wines. Something like
let's have some.
relentless wines.
Let's do a quick fire
One,
wine.
I absolutely think you should tip always. Anyone that's serving you in the service industry, I think you should tip. I think that restaurants in London should embrace the sauce on the table game. Not like fancy restaurants, but like, why do we all love Nando's? Sauce.
Yeah, sauces.
Just sauce. You know what I mean? Put it on the table. Don't make me ask you for ketchup at a burger place or mayonnaise or whatever. Sauce on the table.
Oh man, we spoke about this.
I think we talked about the Mickey Flanagan line, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did we?
Where he talks about going to a restaurant and asking for ketchup and being a posh restaurant and then coming with a little pot of it like that. And he said what he likes to do is do that and go, yes, lovely, I love the bottle.
100%.
Yeah, no, because my friend
Sauces.
Paul, he's got a burger place, and he said that you put this ketchup out on the table, people go like that, and then they don't eat it, and then it's such a cost. And he said, he ended up looking at all of his costs and everything, and one of the biggest leaks was sauces. Like if you're a big company like Nando's, you can afford it, but if you're a small independent, those little margins are like business and not business.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's a question of just putting the price of everything up to cover that loss.
It's fine. I'll pay for the
So that
sauce.
then
It's
people
just
feel-
you're making me pay for it anyways.
Yeah,
Right. When I ask for this side of thing, you're charging me 50p, which by the way is what you're paying for like a liter of this ketchup that you're buying,
yeah.
right? When it works out. So let's not play the it costs me more money game. You're already charging me. Just put it
Well, I
on
think
the
that's the
table.
thing. I would rather have a bigger bill and then just go, well, everything's here. And,
this is such a good experiment. We should do that. I'm going to charge you 20
a smaller
quid.
bill, but then going, oh, actually, there's that. Oh, but if you want that, I said, if you want another pat of butter with your toast, that's another 15p. And we're like, come on, just
What? Should we do this as an experiment? I think
What?
it'd be really interesting.
You want to
like,
eat a bunch of stuff?
like go out for dinner, and then I'm going to be like, oh no, I'm going to save my £10 worth of sauce, and I'm going to spend that on something else. And you'll be like, I want a Negroni, and I'm like, well, you can't afford it because you spent yours all on sauce.
Sauce isn't that expensive. We're talking about condiments here. We're talking about
Negroni
condiments.
sauce.
Right?
What are the irks? What are the...
Let me try and think.
Not straight camera angles.
Oh no, I don't mind. Choose your own adventure. You're
What would you try once?
if you're on my set, they're straight. Absolutely. We need a horizon line. But yeah, that sort of thing. People throwing their food around too much on the internet really bums me out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind a little bit of if it's a normal thing that you would do, like if you're pounding something or whatever. But I really don't like the like.
Oh, where they slap a bit of meat down.
Yeah, or just like spanking meat. That's a real big one with the lads.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that.
I hate that. I went for a kind of one day meat course thing, butchery class at the Ginger Pig, and the guy teaching that was just all slapping the bit of meat and going, "Come on, someone!" It was so full of bravado, and it was all these corporate blokes. It was just horrible. I was like, I had to learn about butchery, and he's all like, "Go on, you slap it," and he's like, "Oh, that wasn't hard enough," and it was just like, "This is awful."
No.
Oh.
Weak sauce.
Am I adding one?
Spanky meat.
Oh.
Yeah. The one that's spanking the meat. But yeah, I don't mind a little bit of like if you would throw something in a bowl or whatever it is, it's okay. But just that sort of stuff,
I
which
think
is
if
just
it's
like
pretense behind it, and
Black-
machismo.
black gloves and spanking meat on the internet is just bumps me out.
Yeah, black gloves actually, because that is just waste, isn't it?
I always, whenever I have to wear gloves for
Although-
something, because I put them on, and I put them on like all bad. And I always reference, what is it? Scary Movie. It's like, take my strong hand, sweet child. And like mashing the mashed potato. You want some mashed potato? It's my little sweet
One thing I
chicken.
have found is the couple of times I have worn the black, tattooist gloves, is that skull ring looks very cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Pushing through, it's all like,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you got gloves? Any glove pictures in your book?
Glove pictures in my book.
Yeah, I bet there's one.
No.
No? Mm.
Using gloves, okay. You can use them.
You can use them,
I
yeah.
don't think I have. Why do you think I have?
No.
No, I haven't.
Tell Jesse your Extractor fan joke. I really like it.
What's my Extractor fan joke?
Why do you want me to tell it?
Can't remember.
I got a badge.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of killed it now. But
It's like the reverse joke.
I just do a bit. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because it's not in the context of a show.
Yeah, but I like
Basically,
it.
the premise of the joke is that a heavy metal band called Extractor, and then if you're then your venue's full of Extractor fans.
Oh, that's a great joke.
Yeah.
Yes, see?
So the venue's very cool.
Very smart.
Anyway, I got a little extractor badge in the show, and should have bought some in.
Yeah.
Merch.
Sorry, mate.
Need to
Sorry,
work on
Andrew.
the delivery.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's
Well,
not
like, I'm good at delivering it, but it's part of the show.
That's
Yeah.
his job.
Rather than yeah.
I just stitched him up. Sorry. Right, should we move on to the answer to the question of the week? Don't look at the answer!
I did look at it, so I won't say it.
Did you?
But I forgot not to.
Yeah.
So I saw it.
Fast reader.
Right.
What is it all in
Here we go.
bold,
Right, answer
like
to the question of the
caps?
week. So the question that we planted at the beginning of the show, what was the first food item to have a barcode on it? And
You
the
thought
answer
can?
is
Can.
can.
Nope.
What do you,
Well,
what do you
I know.
think? Oh,
I think I know.
Can
I
get
read
canned
it.
soup.
What do you think?
I think I know, but I'm going to go Snickers.
It's neither. It is. The first feature barcode on it was chewing gum, specifically Wrigley's Juicy Fruit gum.
Oh, they
Oh,
are
I
nice.
love juicy fruit.
Juicy fruit was
All
great.
day.
Yeah.
I got juicy fruit recently.
Really?
Yeah.
They
I was
still
like,
do it in the
went into a
little
shop
metal.
and thought, I'm just going to buy gum that I want the flavor of, not for my breath.
Yeah.
Just as sort of
Mm.
And is
chewing
it
candy.
still in
By the way, gum is just straight up plastic. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Pretty much, yeah.
I was
Wow,
told
I
if you
didn't know that
swallow
at
it,
all.
it ties knots in your stomach, but I've swallowed
Yeah, I
so
think
much
yeah.
it doesn't do
I think
it.
that's one of those.
Yeah, well, I can tell you the truth is it
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
It's literally
It just fires
plastic.
out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not just, but it has obviously like a polymer in it, so it doesn't come
But
apart.
when you bought it, you were going to just ask this. Does it still come with the foil and then the little paper sleeve?
Great packaging.
Because it's lovely. Because Kit Kat used to, and then they've all changed their, just
Yeah.
the plastic packet, which is horrible.
Oh.
You can't do the down the side.
Do you want to have a guess at the date when the first barcode scan occurred? What year?
61.
What about you?
I've read it already.
We'll have a guess.
73.
Oh, one off, George. Get your eyes
74.
tested. Yeah,
Technologic.
June 26, 1974. Which country? Or which state? It's Ohio.
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 I'm surprised
Ohio.
it's that recent.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
thought. Yeah, digital. Well, we've got to think of the digital era, can't
And
you?
I wonder why it was. Sadie, do you know why it was chewing gum? Just was. It just was.
Just
Chomp,
was.
chomp.
Just
I got a bit of tried out in my show with barcodes. That was I'm going to work it into the next show.
Go on.
So talking about the self scan.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you get tattooed on your hand
Oh,
a
yeah.
barcode for like a sort of $4.99 bottle of red wine,
Just
which of course is the same weight as it,
Oh, yeah.
and then you get a nice one.
That's like the
Cover it
chicken
up
guy,
like
the
that.
Costco chicken guy. Have you seen him?
What's that? No.
There's a guy, this old dude in America that wears this. He goes into Costco and he wears his shirt with the barcode on it and the price, and he's
I
like,
have seen
"That's
he's
how
like,
much
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
do
4
my shirt,
chickens,"
do
and he
my
just
shirt.
puts his shirt on every time. It's so good.
But anyway, so then what you do, you bit the tattoo and then put it. It's the same weight.
imagine if they changed the weight of the bottles at a future date, and you're like, I've got to
I know,
update my
you're
tattoo.
embarrassed. Or your tattoo goes blurred, and then you like buy
liters.
artichokes or something instead.
You've got to downgrade. No, I've only got 300 grams. Parmesan cheese. No, don't know the answer.
It's
Anyway,
fine.
nobody cares.
Too deep.
Well, look,
That's
folks,
it. We're done.
That's the end of the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, we can do the outro. Before we do, though, let's just remind our listeners that this beautiful book, Cooking with Vegetables, is out today.
Today, you can get it
And
now
you should go and get it
at
because
all
it is
places where they sell cookbooks.
There's
Stunning
Jamie Oliver
book.
quote on there. A love letter to mighty veg. Everyone needs this beautiful book.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
Whoa.
Very kind words.
nice quote. That's so good.
Oh, well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of Stuffed. We hope we've kept you entertained and even inspired you to try something new in the kitchen.
This is going to inspire me to try Hearts of Palm.
Hearts
Right.
of Palm.
And many other things too. Once again, folks, make sure you follow us on social media and get involved in future episodes. And a reminder that we are, of course, on YouTube. So you can watch the episodes. You can see the delicious food that we've been eating.
So many cameras that
Yeah.
appeared.
I know, I'm just all over the place. It's like that. But yeah, you can see. So
Us.
not just
Yeah.
hear the crunch, the yum, yum,
Yeah.
but see
And
it.
don't forget to go and check out Jesse if you haven't followed him before.
Yeah.
ADIP.
ADIP food.
ADIP. That's it.
Yeah.
On all channels.
All of them.
Substack.
All the same. All the same.
What's your Substack?
Kitchen Studio on
Kitchen
Substack.
Studio.
But it's under my name, Jesse Jenkins.
Yeah. Just go to his page and you'll find it.
You'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
great. There we go.
Like, share, subscribe.
Booyakasha!
Nice one.